Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you want to see exactly how I got this tropical look right here, that actually took me 3 times just to redo and try to retake, please keep watching. Thank you.
Alright, so the first thing that I'll be starting off with is actually my Fit Me concealer, like always. And the reason why I am using the lightest concealer that I possibly have is so that our eyeshadow will be as vibrant as possible. After applying the concealer to our eyelid, all we're going to be doing is blending that same concealer all the way up to our brow bone. One of the key ingredients for this look is actually a lot of eyeshadow primer. Unfortunately, this James Charles palette, as you'll see that I'll be using, does not work well without eyeshadow primer. One of the first eyeshadows that I'll be going in with is actually this light green eyeshadow that can be found at the bottom left corner of the James Charles palette. We're going to be packing that green eyeshadow all over our crease. We're going to try to take that green eyeshadow all the way up, not necessarily touching our brow bone, but trying to get as closely as possible. Everything that I did to the first eye, I'll make sure to do to the second eye. Now, I am not the biggest fan of completely finishing one eye, then moving on to the second eye. I like to do everything at the same time. That is primarily because I am very forgetful and I'll end up forgetting exactly what colors I'll use, and then they'll completely look different. Once all of our green was applied, I did go back in and I used this yellow shade and applied it to my upper brow portion. Now, I probably could have started off with that yellow, but personally for me, this did make it a lot easier. I just try to make it look as blended as possible. And now I'm just taking that dark green shade and placing it on my outer corner as well as my inner corner. After applying that dark green shade, I just went back over with that light green shade that we had used in the beginning, trying to make it look as blended as possible. Moving on to our cut crease, I just went back in with that same concealer that I had used in the beginning. Now I'm just using that to carve out a cut crease as best as possible. I did use the lightest shade of concealer that I do have in order to make the colors look more vibrant. The first color I'll be starting off with is this yellow shade. Now this yellow shade is going to be placed on the center of our eyelid. Up next is this light orange shade. Now we don't necessarily want to put it way at the corner of our eyes, we just want to get it right next to that yellow. And lastly, we'll be applying this reddish shade, and now this will go on the outer corner as well as the inner corner. We're just trying to get a good gradient, trying to make it look somewhat like a sunset. I topped everything off by using my dark green shade, making sure that everything looked blended. Once my eyeshadow was how I wanted it to look, I just went back in with a wipe, make sure that I cleaned up any fallout, and I cleaned up my edges. Since we use the eyeshadow primer for the upper portion of our eyeshadow, it's only correct that we use the eyeshadow primer for the lower lash line. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. All the colors that I am using for my lower lash line are the exact same colors that I used up above, starting with that yellow, moving on to that light orange, and then lastly using red and then green. And of course, at the end of everything, I finish this look off with some eyeliner as well as some mascara. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Now I would like to add a quick disclaimer. I am not the original creator of this makeup look. This eyeshadow look was created by an Instagram person. She goes by the name of The Beauty by Bella. All her information will be in the description box below, and if you really like her content that she creates, just make sure you go and follow her on Instagram.
Hi, buddy. Hello, baby channel.